All right, y'all, listen. I want y'all to check out something because it's a lot for me to have to paraphrase. Now, I was looking for, because I made a mistake and I did a little short video actually to correct that. I think I said Chantel Cameron was defending Alicia Baumgardner earlier because partner of mine, we were looking at some things, and we were actually watching a fight of Chantel Cameron. So I think I might have said her by mistake. So just in case I did, I followed up with that. But it's Jessica McCaskill. That's what I meant to say. If I did, okay. Anyway, so I was looking to see if there was anything else that might have came up about the Alicia Baumgardner situation. So the Boxing Voice is interviewing Jessica McCaskill so she can say her side of why she's saying what she's saying. Because let's be real. Let me say before I play this. People already make up in their mind. They believe what they want to. And when you hear anything, it's like, oh, see, look. And listen, I get it. But there is things that people overlook. So let's listen to what she's saying. And how old is Jessica McCaskill now? 39 or 40? So how much longer is she going to be boxing, But I'm going to say this, and this is never about making excuses, okay? If you believe something and you stand on it, which is one of the problems that we have with people now because people are afraid to say what they really want to say. But this is on the Boxing Voice, his channel, shout out to him. Don't know him, but, I may have came across him at some point. I think he might have been the guy that got into it with Deontay Wilder. I think this might be his channel. I don't really remember. When Chris Colbert was being interviewed and he was talking and he was saying Wilder can't beat Fury, and then they flagged the video. I think I might have been him. I'm not sure. But anyway, let me play what Jessica McCaskill had to say about the behind the scenes things that people overlook.
I left him at the bar real quick. I was like, I got to get on and support Alicia. I told her I support her. So, I mean, the shit that I'm about to say right now is like, they might fuck up my next fight with Sandy Ryan. But I'm going to say it one time. So if y'all are listening, y'all better scream record this shit because I'm not saying it again. So let's do the math like really quick, okay? Alicia signed a multiple fight contract with Match Room in beginning January 2022. Multiple fights. She had 4 fights. She has a mandatory now who is Chow, right? When you have a mandatory, you don't necessarily have to have a promoter. It's like mine went to a bid. And what happened to my fight? I was supposed to fight like June 24th or something like that. I signed my contract. My opponent signed my contract, and they asked me to sign a Matchroom re-up with them for 3 more fights. I was like, let's finish this mandatory and figure out what's going to happen. What happened? Because I did not sign the contract with Matchroom, they took my opponent and gave her to Terry Harper. So at that point, I had no fight. So at that point, I had to sign back up with Matchroom for a couple more fights. With her, she got to fight Choi. And they're not saying, hey, Alicia signed another multiple fight contract. They're saying Alicia pop hot. So maybe she's not signing the contract. Maybe she's like putting Matchroom in a corner somewhere and they don't like that. So all of a sudden, quote unquote, she pops hot. Fuck out of here. So, I mean, I feel like there's a lot of shady shit that goes on. A lot of people don't know the background of what happens behind the scenes in boxing.
True.
Honestly, fans don't really care. They just want to see fights. People want to talk about how Alicia looks really muscular. She's been looking muscular. True. She came into the game looking the way that she looks.
True. And I got to say that. True. I got to call bullshit on people saying, look how muscular she was always muscular. You can go back to her earlier fights. And of course, the more, you work out, the more focused you stay. Yeah, of course. You can get more toned or more cut, whatever. But no, she has always looked muscular, man. And also, Leonardo Sue and Baumgardner has had words on, I think, Twitter. They were going back and forth where pretty much what was being said was, that Leonardo Sue was saying that her trainer asked her what was different. And she said she just feels stronger. Now I know why. And I told you guys this was going to happen. I said, Leonardo 2 is more than likely going to play the whole, oh, you cheated. You've always been a cheat. And, people love the drama. I told you that was going to happen. I knew that was going to happen. And I said, well, I said, let's give her the benefit of a doubt of maybe she might not play that card. Maybe she'll just wait to see what happens and what the results are. But before you get anything back, it's already the whole thing. So this is the whole thing of she's a cheat. She's a cheat. I didn't lose. I was cheated. This way, it's like she doesn't lose any momentum. It's like people will, yeah. She was able to cheat. Hey, listen, and like I said, Baumgardner may have very well cheated for all it. I don't know. I know that when a lot of people talk, the more they talk, it's like, man, you sound guilty. But I just wanted to bring that out and like for real, stop that nonsense. She always looks muscular. Alicia Baumgardner has always looked muscular. Even when she lost to Leonardo 2, she was muscular. So it's like, come on, y'all. But anyway, let's proceed.
She got over 4,000 followers on Instagram. So, and she got sponsors. So she's not going to be out here looking fat. She ain't going to be out here,
she meant over 400,000
and looking crazy. She got money coming in. So she's going to stay fit. Nobody says, wow, Canelo looks like super fit when he's not fighting. No, nobody talks out of pocket like that. So now they want to come at her all super crazy. I look fit 24/7 because I stay in the gym 24/7. Better not nobody talk shit about me either. I'm out here trying to find separate sources to get tested because I don't trust people talking about hey, go get tested with VADA. VADA doesn't come through. Who comes through? WADA. WADA is a different company than VADA. There's multiple people that are testing you when it comes to if you're a matchroom fighter or not. And that shit is it's not controlled. WADA does not send your test results to you. They keep them. I got tested by WADA when I fought Cecilia. So I don't know if Cecilia tested negative or positive or what, because they didn't send that information. I contacted VADA and said, hey, did you guys send somebody to test me? And they said no. Why would they send WADA when they have a contract with us? So shady shit happens all the time. I support Alicia. Look at Conor Ben. They tried to conceal Conor Ben up until the fucking actual fight day.
True.
And somebody leaked it, and it came out. So if they can conceal people's test results, they can also make up fake test results.
And let me say, the same way we don't put cheating past the fighters. As I said in the last video, I don't put it past these commissions and these people that do the test or whatever. I do not. Never have. My thing is, when you have someone like in the Wilder Fury situation where you're claiming something happened when someone from Wilder's team is there to observe, they're in the room. That's like, okay, so then you can't possibly fire, one guy, but then keep the other, because that means he sat there and watched them wrapping egg weight in this man's wraps. And if you're going to use an egg weight, that's where you would put it, in the wraps, not on top outside of the of your knuckles, which sliding all over the glove. So things like that. Just saying, But yeah, let's proceed.
That's all I got to say. Champ, I'm not repeating it. So
I know you said you're not repeating it, but to be clear, you insinuating that some shady shit could be happening because she doesn't want to re-sign with Matchroom.
That is a very large possibility. When you look on the ESPN
and it could be true.
Instagram post, people are saying, man, it's so sketchy that all the Matchroom fighters are popping hot. Maybe they're not re-signing. Maybe they're trying to separate themselves from Matchroom, and Matchroom is like, I don't think so.
Just being real. How many times, fellas, for those who have kids, and maybe not with the kid's mom, or you may know people, it's the type of thing where the woman wasn't holding it down like she was supposed to. The man decided, no, I can't. There's no need for me to be with some. I know I can't trust you. No. And the mom, all of a sudden, he ain't been paying child support. I don't know where he is, blah, blah, blah. You wind up being arrested over a lie. And it comes down to, okay, you don't want to be with me? I'll fix you. Just saying. We can't say and act like that this can't be true. Like, It's oh no way that no, just saying. Hey.
And start pulling like mad crazy cards. Like I think they want to make you a puppet in a certain way.
Champ,
you're not
I gotta ask you, aren't you fearful that you just said this and now you'll end up mysteriously popping hot?
Now they just might.
Yes, that's why I'm out here. I got other people that's testing me so I can have my receipts. I'm telling you, first thing I said when I came on the call, there's a chance they gonna pull my next card if they hear this. But I'm just trying to keep it real. Like, I'm not gonna be a boxer forever, and I'm not gonna be nobody's bitch. So I'm gonna tell you how I see it, and it's up to them to prove whether it's wrong or not, because it's looking super flaky to me on this side. And y'all know I don't never say nothing unless it's actual factual. So this is just my life and how it comes to me. So I'm just trying to tell y'all what I see. But I don't really like talk about it, because it's like fans want to see fights. They don't really care about the other stuff that happens behind the scenes. And I get that. So I'm not going to burden people with like, oh, this is my life, woo, woo, woo.
And true, they just want to see fights, and they don't care about this stuff personally, but they like to spread the gossip. And it's not about what they like and don't like. The truth is the truth. Facts are facts. Now, we don't know what the truth and the facts are. You understand? But for us to hear bad news, and there's always the negative, we want to make that a fact. That's not fair either, though. So it's good for her to give the insight she's given. And now, too, if they do all of a sudden, now she pops dirty or they start trying to fuck with her, it's good that she's expressing herself, because she could even say, hey, listen, ever since I made that video on the Boxing Voice, all of a sudden now they're coming at me. All of a sudden now, I'm a dirty fighter or whatever. Just saying. So yeah, some shady shit start to happen. So it's good that she, especially the fact that we've heard that Jessica. I haven't seen. I didn't watch the video. Somebody has a thumbnail up saying that Eddie Hearn to sue Jessica McCaskill over the allegations that she's making in this regard here. So, I don't know if he heard this video or if he saw a tweet or whatever he was responding to. I don't know. I didn't watch the video of Eddie Hearn saying that he was going to sue Jessica McCaskill. But so I don't even know if that's even true. So just saying, but it's good to you speak for you. See, this is what you do. You speak for you. You say what it is you want to say. Don't have somebody say it for you. You can send a tweet. That's why a lot of times, I may make a video addressing something someone said so they can hear me speaking. You hear my tone. So you know if I'm biting your head off or not, or if I'm just conversating. And I think a lot of times I know. In text messages, people, they probably picture you saying what you're saying angrily, not realizing you're just talking to them. But bottom line is, however I'm talking, I'm going to get my point across. So it's good that she's doing this for herself, to express this. And listen, if she's speaking from the heart and she really, for her to put herself in this position, it seems to me too like things that she has been through. She's not really getting into all of it, but she knows that there's some dirty shit that went on in her own career that nobody else knows about. We all have things that have happened. I can give you so many stories. I gave y'all one earlier in the previous video. I can give you so many stories involving myself with someone doing something shady on the other end. Dirty cops. How many times with the cameras? I mean, fuck. We can go way back to Rodney King and before. Okay, but the difference of, the black and white videos, no, they was doing that openly. Like, nah, we don't care. Yeah, that was openly. But just saying, how many times have we seen, and the reason I bring up the Rodney King videos, because that's one where the cops said they pleaded with Mr. King. We were, pleading like we please Mr. King, just cooperate with us. And they were perfect gentlemen, right? What did that video show? They were beating this man unmerciful. Y'all saw that. But if it's not for the video and you go off what the police officers say, you got people that will say, oh, no one would do that. These are trained professional officers. They have more class than that. They're not trained to be criminals, and that's criminal intent if they did that. Yeah, but the video showed, they were doing criminal shit. Exactly. So I'm not going to overlook what McCaskill is saying. But like I said, I'm not there personally to know. So I'm not going to just determine that she's guilty or she's not guilty because I just want to, or because, the majority is saying, no, we're trying to, get to the bottom of these things and bring things up, because there's a lot that goes on. And a lot of fighters are scared to speak up. But like she said, I'm nobody's bitch, and she knows she's not going to be boxing too much longer, right? So, but regardless, you know, come to bat. You speak from the heart. You mean what you say what you want to say. It don't matter if people say, oh, she just taking it for her, whatever. Nah, so what? So what? And I'm not saying like, oh, make up excuses for her. No, I'm saying, like I said, you're speaking from the heart. You know, she's saying what she's going to say, and people going to believe or not believe. But I'm just interested to hear what she's saying.
I'm going to just get out there and try to be somebody's ass.
Now, to be clear and fair, you yourself have always been muscular. I remember meeting you and putting our hands together because I was so shocked at how big your hands are. So again, are you fearful that you can get the same rap because you have the same body physique?
Anybody can get the rap. Like, I literally talked to a VADA rep and said, hey, I'm just looking at trying to get more testing so that I could have just receipts of like what my training camp is going through and making sure that I have like all the information that I need. And the lady was scared to talk to me. She wouldn't tell me how much the VADA testing was. She kept telling me to talk to the promoter. She was like, oh, this is very expensive. It's like, no, I'm sure I can cover it. Don't worry about that. But she just would not even talk to me about VADA testing. It's all run by the promoters. So if they're controlling it, like I haven't even gotten my body test from the last Chantel fight. I don't know if she pop hot. I don't know if I pop hot. It's no information. Like, it's not consistent. So it's like, I have no faith in VADA at this point. I need to get my own private testing. I have my receipts. So if somebody comes talking crazy, it's going to be a legal issue because it's like when you just like say, oh, she's on PEDs, you're messing up their livelihood. You're messing up people and all of that. And it's like, okay, if somebody goes and shoot themselves in the head because you're talking about some fake PEDs and now the whole world is coming down on them and you were just trying to control their career, that's super fucked up, right?
Absolutely.
Like, you have to have your receipts.
Well,
you know what? I'm gonna stop it there. This video is almost over. It's 8 minutes and 3 seconds long. It's at the 7:22 mark. So, you know, one thing too about boxing, man, like years ago, way before my time, and then you hear about things and you watch certain old videos, and you would hear, you know, the people, you worry about the boxing part, we'll take care of business, Friday, we this and this. So people wasn't in full disclosure about what was going on. You do your part, we do our part. So whatever mafia ties or whatever things was going on, people wasn't aware, you know. But let's just be real, you know. People are people, man. I mean, I can tell you stories where, you know, dirty child service workers, you know, a company take your child from you because they feel you're an unfit parent, but they're trying to get kids off, you know, to parents where, you know, they have the system where there's people that get paid to adopt kids and bring them in. And, you know, stuff where you hear, you know, child caseworkers somehow, hey, look, they was getting their ass beat the last place. They get their ass beat in this one. Hey, they should be used to it by now. But, I mean, hey, it's not a perfect world. They'll get over it. What? You took this kid from their actual birth parents because of child abuse, but you don't care that you just put them with another family that's going to do the same thing or worse? So, just saying, you can't act like these things don't happen. So we'll go around and going, oh, they're just bad kids. But then we overlook the system that they're in. See, because a person can be in front of you, trust me, I know firsthand, people that will smile. You think they're the nicest, sweetest people on earth, but you have no idea because you don't know them personally. And you see them behind closed doors and go, what the? Like, you? That's how you really are? Yeah. So I just thought this was interesting because, you know, look, man, there's a lot that happens. And you want to know something? If anybody is innocent that's been falsely accused, and especially if you, even if you're not still fighting, but especially if you're still fighting, you guys should listen to what Jesse McCaskill is saying and say, you know what? No, speak up. Really speak up. But see, when people are afraid of losing their jobs, they won't speak up. They're afraid of repercussions, they won't speak up. Now I'm not saying make this a thing where, all of a sudden one woman comes out and say, he raped me back in the day. Then all of a sudden you got 119 women. He raped me too. Yeah, me too. He raped me on my birthday. No, I'm not talking about making up lies. I mean, people, if anybody that was clean and that you were clean, okay? And you went through a system of getting bullied or threatened or basically, even, look, they know you can fight. Right? And they know what you bring to the table. So, okay, cool. Like she said, they took her fight and gave her opponent to somebody else. It happens. It happens. And when you hear cheater, that's all you focus on. Oh, who they catch now? But you don't tie everything else together where, everybody's just not honest. So the same way a fighter can be sneaky and dirty and dishonest, who can't? You can't skip over a person because of their position, right? So you look and think, okay. And like she said, same thing. They tried to cover Conor Benn's thing up, and they knew what they said 3 weeks ahead of time, right? With Alicia Baumgardner, they said they knew 3 days ahead of time. With Ben, they knew 3 weeks ahead of time that he failed his test. So just saying, and they tried to cover that. So how can you not look at them and listen to what she said and think, there could be some truth to this? They could be just as guilty the same way. It's a 50-50 shot that they're just as guilty as she is. Like if she's innocent, the same way we saying, no, she's guilty, she could be innocent and they're guilty. Vice versa. It could be either way because people do things. I mean, haven't you guys, we watch these videos where they've caught police officers literally taking stuff out their pocket and put it in someone's car. Oh, look at what we found. And man, think about it. So you can't sit here and act like, well, that's impossible. So now I'm just more interested to see how things go. Not for any dramatic bullshit reasons. Just justice needs to happen. And I feel like, plain and simple, I would not want to see Hannah Gabriel's, Dillian White, Baumgardner, Ben, nobody to be innocent but suffer. Some people, when they talk, it's like, bro, everything they're saying is just wrong. Like, no, man, that's what I'm going by. Just to determine like what I feel about the situation. But when it comes down to someone just saying someone failed their test, and then you don't get any details about what and the possibilities, or this is nothing. It's just it happened, and then everything just goes silent. That's why I said if she can't prove herself, she don't need to say anything. What she need to do is operate behind the scenes, gather whatever proof and information she can get from the other side, because I do know you can look guilty and you can be innocent. And we also got to understand, every single year, whether you guys check it out or not, every single year, there's a post that they do online. They used to do it in the newspaper, where they show like a list of like people who did like 30, 40 years in prison. All right? That was found innocent 30, 45 years later. And it's always like 100 people or more that they do it on. That's not like all of them, but just, and that's like, damn. You imagine that, right? So when that judge banged that gavel and said guilty, justice was served. No, it wasn't. It wasn't. Not the fact that man was innocent. And this is why, I did a video about Reuben Hurricane Carter, Natalie Sugar Brown, Sam Langford, and Coco Kid. And Reuben Hurricane Carter, him and his buddy, okay, they actually did 20 years in prison for a triple murder. And his buddy, the cops tried to get him. If you guys know the story, the cops tried to get his friend. They set them up because it was 3 of them in the car. When they let the one guy go, they waited. It's like 45 minutes later till they drove back the second time, and that's when they was at a nightclub, and that's when the cops pulled them over. And what they was trying to do with Reuben's friend, see, Reuben was the target, and what they tried to do, they was telling his friend to lie and say that Reuben did it, and he refused to do that, and they did their time together. Okay, got out together and wound up being roommates, lived together and everything. That's a friend. But that doesn't take away. I mean, look at, man. They spent 20 years of their life in prison, and they didn't do anything. So yeah, and who were they set up? Dirty cops. So we can't sit here because someone has the title official in their name or officer or whatever that they wouldn't do that. And like I get again, the same way how people talk about, oh, they're selective with who's dirty and who's not. Well, that's definitely not where Aries is coming from. But we're also selective with who we put the finger at, right? So the fighter can be dirty, but not the commission, not the testers, right? But in certain situations, oh yeah, it's them. Yeah. I mean, let's be real. You know, when I seen Richards caught Margarito, realized that he had a hard substance, had plaster in his wraps. And you know what he didn't do? He's like, I didn't give that to no doctor. I didn't give that to nobody, no official, no commission. No, only person I'm giving this to is Shane. And then we going to figure out what from there. I ain't giving this to nobody because you give it to these people, this thing would disappear. And then all of a sudden, nobody know what he's talking about. Yeah, we've been there. And we can't treat it different because it's boxing. Like, no, the fight is automatically dirty. Nah, it's just certain things. Like I said, when fighters talk, they act a certain way. They make themselves look. I mean, you guys have seen a lot of the same, more recent stuff that I've seen. So, no need to dig into it. But I thought this was interesting, man, because you know what? People really don't look at who's behind the scenes. They don't. They look at who's in front of them. And the fighter's the star. So when they say you're dirty, whether you're dirty or not. If it's proven that you were clean, then okay. You still have people that's gonna say, nah, they just lying just to get that fight, to make that money. I mean, let's think about this, right? What's the guy's name that fought against Oscar Valdez? He popped dirty and they still let him fight. So when I made the video and I asked the question, why do commissions allow a fighter that tested dirty to fight anyway? Why? Especially being aware of the danger. So, yeah, man, we got to hold everybody accountable. Everybody who's aware. And again, they should be able to explain what and why and how. And not just say someone tested dirty. There's a process. What happened in this process? The less they talk, the less we know. So we can't sit here and make a big ass story up about what happened when we don't even know what happened. We shouldn't have to use our imaginations. We should have to have the truth in front of us. But you know what? Not about making excuses. I respect what Jessica McCaskill did. And she got to actually explain, even in the sense of her fight, the fight that she had, you know, her opponent taken from her and put in another fight, you know, and why it happened, you know. But just the fact she had the heart to do that, I really respect that. So it is what it is. Anyway, talk to me in the comment section, y'all. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all on the next video.